I tend to assume that the majority of my audience falls within my age demographic, which is 18, and that as a kid, watching shows on TV is most likely one of the most universal, memorable codes that we all share. Those Saturday mornings where you'd wake up, have a Frosted Flakes bowl of cereal, and sit down on the living room floor admiring the marvels of shows like Tom and Jerry and etc. I'm just gonna put that out there now that I've set the tone. Call me crazy, but I've enjoyed Teen Titans Go. Hey bro, I know some y'all gonna act. Y'all gonna start saying like, oh, but the OG is way better. Well, guess what? The OG doesn't have Cyborg and the others riding cool-ass motorbikes in this cool-ass retro 90s settings while it's looking like a cool-ass rock band like Aerosmith or something. Nevertheless, my contention is that if there's a network that has significantly raised the bar in terms of expectations when it comes to animated cartoons, both in the early 2000s up until now, it has to be Cartoon Network. I mean, just look at the lineup, bro. We got shows like Adventure Time, Regular Show, Ben 10, OG Teen Titans, Kids Next Door. The list is literally endless. Cartoon Network has always been kind of the weird cousin of Kids Channel because the stuff that they were putting out was weird, but weird in the sense that it worked giving the audience plausible stories, which only they were able to provide consistently at that time. That channel in its prime had presumably the most stacked up high-end cartoons of all times. And what made it so unique compared to other channels like Boomerang or Nickelodeon is that each show possessed its own unique appeal. Some were more for the feels, others were more for the comedy, and some, well, I'm not gonna lie to y'all bro, some just existed to fill the time slots. Yeah. Okay, you know what? This was meant to be a slight shades towards some shows, but I'm just gonna get this off my chest. I'm talking about problem solvers. I'm sorry to ask, but who allowed this shit to air? Pun intended. Who allowed this piece of turd eating pizza to go live during our childhood? Like seriously, this is ass. Like, you know what? I'm not even gonna say anything anymore, bro. But what I wanted to talk about is one of my favorites and one of the best cartoons of all time, The Amazing World of Gumball. Well, you see, Gumball, yeah. Gumball does things differently. As silly and as dumbfounding as it gets, a blue cat and a goldfish doing whatever in their free will managed to reach all ages, no matter the comedic surrealism that the show had provided. Gumball has this crazy mix of animation styles, whilst implying all around its cast that it has a self-aware edge, breaking the fourth wall, cultural and pop references, cartoon awareness, Richard casually altering the universe with his presence because his fat ass got a job, which is weird but interestingly forbidden. You get where I'm going with this? Gumball feels like this culmination of all that Cartoon Network has worked with, giving us this fully unhinged cartoon that has somehow still managed to pack some everyday relatable moments or real life lessons into a few episodes. But one episode that really stuck with me, not deeply by the way, I just thought the episode was weirdly hilarious, but one episode that really stuck with me is The Hug. The Hug kicks off with Gumball trying to prove to Darwin that he's now predictable. Like, that's his whole mission for the day, just to show him that he's not one of them niggas that be saying moving in silence, and the whole time they just be posting on the gram every single day. And the way he decides to do this is by hugging the first person that he sees. But here's the catch, the first person that he sees is Hot Dog Guy. You see Hot Dog Guy? Yeah, you know what, yeah, never mind bro, I don't have nothing to say on him, he's just a hot dog, I guess. You think that befriending someone above your grade would be cool as hell, but back in the day, it was a 50-50. It was two choices. Even niggas will little bro you out of respect, or just weirdly go along so you'd leave them alone. I'ma let you guess what instances Gumball made into. And that basically just created a fake, awkward friendship between them where every single time they would bump into each other, it'd be so awkward that they would do this dumbass greeting and somehow foment into this dumbass dance. Again, and again, and again. I'm not gonna lie to y'all bro, that dance is probably the funniest part of the episode because every time it appeared, it had me in tears bro. Like there is no way to explain this scene. Like you could have just thrown his arm to the other side, but you literally just decided to incline yourself on top of him. Like seriously, you did not have to do that. And you know, that scene was probably the breaking point because Gumball was eventually fed up with his lack of responsibility and humility, and so he tries to end it. But Hot Dog was one step ahead, and so the average common person will probably like move on with their day, right? Well, guess what? Gumball is a talking cat. There is nothing common about him. So he and Hot Dog trap each other on a daily, using the friendship as an excuse to pretty much tell each other to hop off. They turn it into a fight where Gumball finally acknowledges out loud that he doesn't give a damn about him. And this made Hot Dog stop the act and realize that he also doesn't give a damn about him. And so, after expressing their nonchalance to each other, they actually become genuine friends. Entrap Darwin participating in his dumbass dance. I'd like to cover more, but for now, I'll pass it towards my friend Senshii to get y'all still hooked up on the video. Yo, Senshii, it's your turn.
Hey, what's up, Dash? Appreciate you having me on the channel. The Amazing World of Gumball is a certified hood classic, and when you asked me to speak about it, I already knew which episode I was going to cover, because the Fury episode is something straight out of an anime. Alright, the episode starts off with Nicole being late to taking Gumball, Darwin and Anais to school. And look at the way she's jumping around. She's carrying her kids like she's the Hulk. I always forget how overpowered Nicole actually is. Like, look at the way she's running. She's out here moving like the Flash. Even Anais says in the show that they were literally traveling faster than the speed of sound. After dropping off her kids at school, she gets approached by Yuki, who wants to settle some old beef. But Nicole seems to be on her fourth in timing and chooses to be the bigger person as she walks away from the fight. So Yuki takes the city girl approach and tries to seduce Richard. And look at the way she's lifting her legs in the air. She's out here showing the whole world her coochie, all for the sake of running the ones. We find out that Nicole and Yuki used to train under Master Roshi on some Goku and Krillin type beat, but they ended up having to fight each other in the world tournament and Nicole ended up beating Yuki. So for the next 30 years, Yuki held a grudge hoping to fight Nicole again someday. This is some plot straight out of Baki. Random one-off episodes like this is exactly why I love the Amazing World of Gumball so much. They go into the fight and Yuki wins the first exchange, throwing Nicole back, but Nicole locks in and kicks Yuki in the chest. They pull back and they get into a conqueror's clash, damn near splitting the sky. These guys are at least Yonko level. Yuki begins charging up a whole ass Kamehameha and my eyes couldn't believe this shit when I was like 10 years old. 10-year-old me was flabbergasted when they first dropped this. I was shook. I for sure thought Nicole would have got bodied, but she just ate that shit, no problem. And they proceeded to go into a whole ass beam struggle before Nicole speed blitzed Yuki and wins the fight. What the hell did I just watch? And then they play this banger at the end of the episode as if I didn't just watch the most random brain work for the past 10 minutes of my life. But hey, it doesn't take away from the fact that the Amazing World of Gumball is easily top 10 cartoons of all time. Comment down below what your favorite episode is. And that's me done for now. Peace.